Let's go. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit that notification bell. That way, you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Mufasa the Lion King teaser trailer backlash. So, if you have not had a chance to check out my teaser trailer reaction for Mufasa the Lion King, I highly recommend you guys go and check out that previous video, because in that previous video, toward the end of that video, I actually scrolled down and read some of the comments that a lot of people left on that teaser trailer video that Disney put out on their YouTube channel, actually, where I was watching the teaser trailer for my reaction. And basically, the comments were arranged from "this feels soulless, unnecessary, unneeded," and a lot of the comments, if you really scroll down, if you had a chance to, were basically just like, you know how when like any Sony Marvel villain movie comes out, you know how people just say like, oh, it's weapon time, it's craving time, I'm craving these nuts, all that stuff. Basically is what the comments all boiled down to. And this is what I said in the previous video, and this is kind of just the same thing I'll just echo here, is that when it comes to prequels in any franchise, whether it be like an anime, a TV show, or a movie, prequels are really hard to do when like the audience already knows the general outcome for that character's fate, right? So there are exceptions to the rule, obviously, but the problem with prequels is, how do you create meaningful tension, stakes, and a well-crafted story for a character's fate you already know about? So in my own personal opinion, it's good to do a prequel when whatever character you're doing the prequel on, fate has not been determined yet, as if like the character is still alive in said continuity, because it's just going to be an uphill battle to get someone to care about a character they know already is dead, right? Or the fate has already been decided one way or another, right? And it's one of these things where when it comes to, the Lion King, everyone knows Mufasa's fate already. You kind of already know how the movie's going to play out. I mean, if you read the premise on how the movie's going to play out, basically it's going to go like this. Simba's daughter is going to ask her mother, about like her granddad, right? And then they're going to go to Rafiki, and then Rafiki's going to tell them about Mufasa, right? So it probably comes down along the lines of like, maybe she's mad at her dad for being too controlling or whatever, because, that's just how these kind of movies generally tend to go. You can kind of tell the plot of the movie from a mile away. But the thing here is, why are we getting a prequel movie for Mufasa, right? Like, I watched the live adaptation of The Lion King. It honestly felt so soulless. The mannerisms, the songs felt off. It just felt really off. If you want a better interpretation of what that movie is, just go and watch the animated The Lion King movie, because I know a lot of people in Hollywood just basically look down on animation or cartoons, and they see it as for kids. It's really crazy how like something made in the form of like a cartoon or an anime or just animated in general, like people just kind of look at, oh, that's just for kids, even if it's literally, and I don't even like using this word a lot, even if it's literally objectively better in every regard to something else. If it's animated, it always gets looked down upon. That's, in my opinion, just a stupid mindset and just completely ridiculous when you really break it down. So even if something is just better overall, I don't need that because it's animated. And it's like, I try to ask people on my live streams, how when I have like the Iron Man podcast, I'll ask you guys this too. Has there been any of these Disney live adaptations of any of these popular animated classics that have been good? I'll be honest here, I've watched a few of them. more than I probably should, and I just felt nothing from this. Literally, just go and watch the animated stuff. It's way better in every single regard in terms of storytelling, pacing, dialogue, music, all that stuff, right? And Disney is sitting here wasting all this money on this Mufasa Lion King prequel movie when in reality, this company's not made a lot of money on any of their movies recently. And people are going to go, but the number at the box office is this. If you say that, you are so fucking retarded, you don't understand how movies work. Because people have to factor in, and all those big movie numbers that some of these movies have made, keep in mind, theater cut, international cost, marketing, all that stuff goes into play, right? So you're also looking at it from like just how the Lion King is, looked at by a lot of people, and they really, really enjoy it. And the only reason why they're actually making this movie is because the Lion King, the live adaptation that came out back in 2019, actually made $1 billion. If that movie did not make $1 billion, this doesn't get made, right? It's just literally a freaking waste of time, honestly. What is the point of watching this? I have no idea why. So, of course, they would turn off comments because they don't want to hear backlash because they want to live in some like weird cringe echo chamber, actually. So, this is coming to us from the Park Place. I'm pretty sure you guys know who this is. It's John F. Trent. He used to write for Bounding into Comics, actually. So, let's see what he had actually put here. The Walt Disney Company turned off the comments for its latest trailer for Mufasa the Lion King, as numerous individuals shared their dislike of the trailer and the upcoming film. The trailer currently has just shy of 6.2 million views, but has over 237,000 dislikes compared to 107,000 dislikes. Now, I will say this, likes or dislikes on a trailer generally don't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Like, there are popular movies out there that came out that didn't really have that favorable like to dislike ratio, and then there are some that have come out that have been horrifically disliked compared to likes. So it's really hard to judge the impact the movie's gonna have, kind of based off like likes and dislikes on trailers, but it is a somewhat indicator of a few things, I would say, right? As seen in coverage of the trailer being massively disliked by uh, Keenon and Geeky Sparkles of Clownfish TV, the comments were laponing the Walt Disney Company. The top comment before the comments were shut off stated, "It's funny how Lin-Manuel Miranda agreed to write original songs for this movie instead of Moana 2. Another stated, "Without a drop of nobility, so this movie literally retcons Mufasa's whole conversation with Simba, making him the first king of the Pride Lands." Yep, I remember seeing that comment actually. Still another wrote, "I like the part where Mufasa held Scar in a death grip and said, look at me. I'm the captain now." Yeah, and then basically after that, a whole bunch of their comments were basically like, I love the part where Mufasa walked in and was like, "It's Mufasa time." Another posted, "It would have been so cool to see this as hand-drawn animation in the style of the original Lion King." Yeah, blows my mind how it's not like that. Another went, "I wish they were making this movie in the classic 2D animation style," wrote another. Another wrote, "When Mufasa said, 'You're gonna need a bigger boat,' my jaw dropped in awe. Disney, tell me you're out of ideas without telling me you're out of ideas," posted another. Still another wrote, "Without a drop of nobility," as he tossed a lightsaber over his shoulder. Another posted, "How does a 30-year-old movie look better than this?" Yeah, because the reason why the animated classics can do it better than a live action adaptation is because there's mannerisms, there's the over exaggerated expressions the characters can have, there's just the way the, chemistry can work in an animated movie. Some of these in theory can work in live adaptation, but you're seeing just kind of like with this one, the Lion King really can't be that way because of like animals just not really being able to convey that level of expression to you, right? The comments are no longer available to view as the Walt Disney Company turned them off. Yeah, it's turned off. It's all just like, for kids or whatever they do, right? So then you had like the film's director come out and make a big tweet on Twitter. And like he didn't really like call people bigots or racist or anything like that, like a lot of other people would do. He kind of just basically just like, I would say, threw back some of that of like, oh, it's not soulless at all. And it's like, dude, this is literally soulless. It has no feeling to it. I remember just a few days ago, I watched that trailer. I did a reaction to it. I felt nothing when watching this. It felt like literal shit watching that, actually. That's the same way the other one feels too. It just feels like this is just made as a cash grab, actually. The film's director, Barry Jenkins, reacted to criticism of the trailer in a post on X. One user wrote, "Barry, you're too good and talented for this Iger's soulless machine." Jenkins responded, "There was nothing soulless about The Lion King. For decades, children have sat in theaters all over the world experiencing collective grief for the first time, engaging Shakespeare for the first time, across aisles in a myriad languages, a most potent vessel for communal empathy." Okay, so all this right here is just some dog shit. Like, this is all just like some sort of like corporate bot response that he just gave. Because, like, what the guy said to him basically is like, hey, you're too good to be doing this. And the guy basically went, well, here's all this bullshit. That's how you know what that is, guys? That is literally just deflection. When someone says something to you and you go, here, I'll give you guys an example of it. It'd be like if I was a cop and I'm talking to you, and then if I'd be like, hey, were you at this liquor store on First Street at 11 o'clock this yesterday morning? And you would go to me, no, but, my aunt, she works at the nurse's office. It's like, what the fuck? Are you, like, retarded or something? Like, that's what that's what that is. That is literally just classic deflection right there. This is soulless no matter how much you try to slice it. And then afterwards, ex-user Noble Q Ollie then retorted, "Come on, man. I interviewed you when you premiered Moonlight at TIFF, and that Barry Jenkins wouldn't have said what you just said. You can do a Disney movie for the check in order to work on your passion projects at a later time. But you don't have to shill like this." Yeah, it just kind of feels like he's just shilling because he's the director of the movie. And that does make sense to some degree how he's defending the movie because Disney's giving him a fat paycheck for it. So it obviously makes sense. I could easily see, this guy coming out 2 years, 3 years later on down the road when like the NDAs are over and being like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have did that movie, but who knows? Only time will tell. Jenkins replied, "Bruh, what kind of logic is that? How about this? Here are a few videos from the same Barry Jenkins who premiered Moonlight, as you put it, showing some of the things I was doing in my spare time at the same time I was writing Moonlight." This is all deflection. This is nothing to do what this guy said. Like, this, like, just crazy, actually. From there, Jenkins provided a number of examples of projects he worked on before concluding, "Children have figured prominently in every single one of the projects from Moonlight till now without exception. Like, bruh, you can say whatever you want about the film, but telling me that something I said about why something is meaningful to me for children is cap. Nah, bruh." It's crazy. It's just what these guys do when they're in this kind of position and they get any level of backlash. All they do is just, deflect and deflect. And then, the other aisle of that would be, oh, you're just a this, and this word. But I will give him credit. He didn't actually say that. So that's a plus in my eyes to some degree, right? But no matter how Barry Jenkins tries to slice this, I don't know how this movie's going to do at the box office. It's coming out, I think, in December, actually, or is it coming here? Let me check when, because I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not checking this out. I really don't care, honestly. I mean, the box office will decide if this movie's a success financially, but reception amongst like person to person is going to be a subjective thing. Yeah, the movie comes out December 20th, 2024, actually. So it even shows you Disney just might not even have faith in this movie, because I don't recall them turning off comments for even the live action Little Mermaid trailer. Actually, they kept that on. So yeah, to wrap this video up, I was gonna let you guys know I have no faith in this. This feels like a soulless cash grab. No one wanted a Mufasa prequel movie. People didn't even really want a live adaptation of The Lion King. Literally. I mean, if you wanted to do like a Lion King 3 for more of like a classic 2D animated route, you could have did that. I would have literally accepted a third Lion King movie. That would have been like a story where it's like, Simba's daughter, at Mary taking care of another like lion that they have to raise to be the king of the Pride Lands and all that shit. Actually, that would have been way more of a thing that would make sense compared to doing this, which literally is worthless in the grand scheme of things. This is going to be just another soulless Disney cash grab that I think a lot of people are just going to be disappointed by, because what's going to be offered here to make you think like, oh yeah, I really cared about this character more than I've already really cared about this character from the previous movie. People already like Mufasa, already care about him, already like him. You don't need this to actually show them anything that they already haven't previously thought of. So thank you guys for checking out this video. As I always say, if you are a returning viewer or new viewer, then please consider subscribing to the channel. If you have not already, leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Make sure to hit the notification bell. That way you can get notified on whenever I upload a new video or go live. I have plenty of content coming out for you guys, and I have potentially another announcement that I will unveil at some later time. So see you guys later. Have a great day, everybody.